I used to have a stutter for about 30 years, and finally, over the years, I've resolved that, and I now thought I'd pass on the information of my childhood, which I think was the basis of my stammer. I noticed a stammer when I was about 4 years old. I was born into a very poor family. My mother worked. My father fell off a roof on a building site, and he ended up with the fits. So the family was fairly poor. But I think in those days, in London, the entire family was poor. And I was teased at primary school, and they asked me why I stuttered. So I lied to myself. I said, it's my tonsils. I'm going to have my tonsils taken out soon, and the stammer will vanish, which I knew was a complete lie. Anyway, the primary school wasn't bad because we didn't have to do much reading, but I did excel at mathematics, which was a joy to my life. Anyway, on leaving primary school, I then entered the high school. Now, the high school is a place where it's really tough because kids are a bit nastier. The primary school's gone where kids are all good. I'm in a tough environment. Every 4 weeks we used to have a reading class where everyone spoke. Everyone had to read from a book. Now, I was about number 32 on the list, and they'd get through about 6 every lesson, every week. So I knew in week 4 or 5 I was going to have to read, and that was absolutely hell. I stuttered and stuttered, just couldn't get the words out. However, I noticed once I got 2 or 3 words out, which took me about 20 seconds, I found I could read smoothly. And then I continued reading from the book. And the teacher used to say, right, stop. And I wouldn't stop because I didn't want to stop because I wasn't stuttering. I went to see a psychologist. He took me through my background. Now, this is the important part for me about my recovery from stuttering. Well, I say stuttering, you only recover 95%. There'll always be a day when you're freezing cold, you're shivering, and that stutter will return, just only for a few seconds. But you've controlled it after this treatment, and so everything is fine. Anyway, I went back to him 3 times. And what he'd done, he took me back to my childhood of 4 years old. And he went through the things that scared me in life. My mum said to me, you and John, who's my next up brother, he's about 3 years older than me. Now, I was about 3 or 4, and he was about, 6, right? And we go alone in this house, upstairs, 2-storey, 100 years old, the house. And we're both laying in bed that night, and just laying there. And then suddenly, sort of half woke, and I could see it was a shape, like a black shape. You couldn't make it out, but it moved. The black shape moved. It looked at my brother, and I thought, I see him coming towards me. I put the blanket over my head and just laid there for about a minute until I thought he'd gone. And this shadow went over to my brother again, and he saw it as well. He just covered his head up as well. So even today, well, I saw him a couple of years ago. I said, do you remember in bed? He said, yeah, the shadow. And so that really destroyed me. I wasn't the perfect child, but my mum, she had a big bamboo stick. It wasn't just a little cane, it was a stick. And I offended her one day, and she got this stick in the other room and whack, whack, whack. And she whacked me till the knuckles swelled up. From that day, I sort of stuttered, stammered, all through life. And this psychiatrist, he said to me, that's where your problem started. He put me straight, and I was really pleased. It didn't happen straight away, but this happened over about, must have been 4 weeks, 5 weeks. I seemed to stutter less and less, and I found out if I shouted, if I got annoyed, the stutter had gone. You have to really get angry to get rid of that stutter, because you shouldn't have it. Anyway, the learning from this is stammering confidence. Confidence is the main thing. And the last thing I say is people seek help. It's in the mind, and once you can get confident, once you think to yourself as the best, I'm better than all those, you will stop stammering.